Hey there. Today, let's dive into something super cool and mysterious called number stations. These are special radio stations that broadcast sequences of numbers. It might sound strange, but these stations have a fascinating history and purpose. Let's explore. Number stations are radio stations that broadcast random numbers, words, or codes. People believe these broadcasts are meant for spies working in different countries. Imagine a secret agent listening to the radio, writing down a series of numbers, and then decoding a hidden message. That's the idea behind number stations. Most number stations use a voice to read out the numbers. Sometimes they use special sounds or even Morse code, those dots and dashes you might have seen in movies. These broadcasts can happen at set times or completely randomly. They use high-frequency radio waves, which can travel long distances, making it easier for spies far away to receive the messages. Number stations have been around since at least World War I. During the war, Archduke Anton of Austria used to listen to these mysterious broadcasts and pass the messages to his military. The stations became very popular during the Cold War, a time when countries like the USA and the Soviet Union were spying on each other a lot. For example, in the 1950s, there were stations called DCF-37 and DFD-21 that broadcasted from West Germany. These broadcasts were meant for spies in other countries. Even today, some of these old stations still operate, although it's unclear who runs them now. One of the most well-known number stations was called the Lincolnshire Poacher. It was believed to be operated by the British Secret Intelligence Service. This station got its name from the English folk tune it played before each broadcast. It started in the 1970s and continued until 2008. The station broadcasted from a place called RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, but its exact purpose remains a mystery. In 2001, a group called the Cuban Five was tried in the United States for spying. They had received secret messages from a Cuban number station known as Attention. The spies used shortwave radios to listen to the broadcasts, then decoded the messages using special programs on their computers. The U.S. government even presented decoded messages in court as evidence. Number stations aren't just a thing of the past. In 2001, a U.S. analyst named Ana Bullen Montes was arrested for spying. She received instructions from Cuba through encrypted shortwave radio transmissions. Similarly, in 2009, a man named Walter Kendall Myers was caught for spying for Cuba and using number stations to get messages. Even Russian spies have used number stations. Up until 2010, the FBI discovered that Russian agents were receiving instructions through coded messages on shortwave radio. And it's not just other countries using these stations. There are claims that the United States has also used number stations to send secret messages. You might wonder why, in the age of the internet and smartphones, we still have number stations. The main reason is that shortwave radio is hard to trace. Unlike phone calls or emails, which can be tracked and intercepted, shortwave radio signals are more anonymous. This makes it easier for